everyone, it's Marie here from Peartree Cutfiles. I've got a layout to share with you today, which is actually for my creative scrapbook, who I've been designing for the last few months. So this layout is using their February kits, which was full of all the wonderful new collection from Simple Stories called Hello Today. So I've used the vast majority, I think all of the things I've used for this layout are from the Hello Today collection, and I've also used one of the cut files. I've used the Moments cut file. Now I have used this one before, but it's a really simple one, and I really wanted to try having a vertical title rather than it running horizontally across the page. I wanted to do something a little bit different, so I knew I wanted to put this page together using lots of the 3x4 cut apart cards from the, are they on the B sides of the sheet, or the patterned papers on the B side? There's one side's patterned and then one side of these cut apart pieces. And so I picked out lots of orangey, red and yellow coloured ones to use as the focus of the layout. And I'm using a picture from last summer, which is my son. This is the day we released some butterflies. So we got some caterpillars and we grew the caterpillars, and they went into their chrysalises or chrysalides, and then they hatched them. This was the day we released them. And when you release them, quite often they do, as they come out of the net, they do like to crawl onto your hand and sort of sit there for a while, which was really nice. So I've got this lovely picture that I wanted to document. And there were some butterflies on the chipboard sheet, and I think also on the sticker sheet as well. So I wanted to use some of the butterflies. So I'm using that word happy. That's one of the foam words from the foam set, if you like. I really like that. It's got all sorts of different patterns and colours on it. But I'm going with a turquoisey colour to back my cut file. I've gone with a stripy paper first of all to just back the camera, and now I'm just cutting round. I've done my backing of the cut file this time by drawing round the letters from the inside of the cut file, and then as I'm cutting out, what I'm doing is I'm leaving a 2 or 3 millimeter space. I'm not cutting along the line I've drawn, I'm making it bigger than that, so that there's that little edge that you can kind of stick onto the back of the cut file. You can also do it by sticking the cut file directly to the card and then like fussy cutting around it, but I didn't have masses of this colour left, because I've used it on one of my other layouts as well, so I knew I needed to be quite careful with how much of this cardstock I used. So I'm just popping the letters onto the back there, and then I'll flip it over and you can see that lovely colour really popping through. Now I'm just going to trim off the odd little bits that are sticking out from the back of the cut file, just neatening it all up. And then I think I've got the middle of the camera to stick on as well, just to give that extra little bit of detail. So this layout did come together really quite quickly because, like I say, I've used the elements from those cut apart sheets, so I haven't really, all I've done is kind of position them on the page in a sort of geometric kind of fashion, rather than tearing or ripping or layering in any particular way. I've left definite spaces between them, and I really like the way that looks. So now I'm just going to play around with a couple more of the cards and the layout. I know that that's the general idea of how it's all going to work, but I know there's a few extra bits that I really want to put on there, like the cameras. That little rainbow tag is so pretty. I've got that little heart one there as well that I really fancy. Just kind of tucking into the corners to give those extra little bit of detail. Now, one of the 3x4 cut apart cards was this rainbow. Now I don't want the whole card on there, but I definitely wanted that rainbow, so I've actually fussy cut around that and left a little heart on the bottom as well, because I just think that helps balance the page. I've got a little bit of rainbow on both sides. A couple of little cameras. So I'm just going to play around now with the placement of everything and make sure I'm happy with where everything's going. I wondered for a while as to whether to back the photograph or not, but I do back it in the end. What I've just shown you there, that little card, off camera, I went and I sewed around the edge of the good stuff part to attach it to the card, the orange and cream coloured card that is behind, so it's now become like a pocket so I can tuck things into it. And I've just done that by sewing around it on my sewing machine. And then this 3x4 cut apart card again, I'm just going to fussy cut this one. It says out and about, and it's a little kind of notebook, so I'm actually going to tuck that into that little pocket. I just think it adds a nice little detail, like tucking in extra little bits of memories and things. So again, just making sure I'm happy with the placement. I've got a few other cards there to the right that I did wonder whether I was going to use, but in the end I don't use those. I don't think I use those anyway. So just some double-sided sticky here. I don't put a great deal of dimension on this layout. I don't add loads of foam or anything. Most things just get stuck down as they are. So I'm just popping glue on the back of this one. Part of the reason for me choosing glue rather than double-sided sticky is because this is such a geometric, it's got very definite lines to it. I need to make sure that everything's lined up correctly and nothing's wonky. I don't do, on most of my layouts, I do just do things by eye. I very rarely measure anything at all. But I am just using my little T-square ruler here to make sure that I get everything straight as it's being stuck down, because I don't want to pick into it when I'm all finished and go, oh, 3 of the cards are wonky. So I'm just taking a little bit of extra care here, making sure that everything is nice and straight. I'm just using double-sided sticky now to add things on. Some of those elements are from the ephemera pack, so obviously they're not sticky. But a few of them are stickers as well, but at the moment I haven't stuck anything down. I've just kind of placed it on in case I do need to move it around, and just using lots and lots of double-sided sticking to make sure everything stays put. It's very clean, very simple. I haven't used any mixed media on this at all. Very clean and simple layout, which I really like. Again, that T-square rule has been very, very useful. Not had it long actually, but very, very useful. Last few bits now just being stuck down. That card there that I'm just sticking on, I'm going to add that little chipboard phrase to the bottom, but you'll notice in a couple of minutes that I'm going to use that card for my journaling. Now, journaling isn't something that I've ever done a great deal of on layouts. I tend to pop a date on there maybe. If we've gone to a particular place, I might write down the place name. I've never really done a great deal of journaling, but recently I've just made a December daily album, and I really enjoyed recording the extra thoughts and things that you put down. So I've actually started doing an awful lot more journaling on my layouts recently. Oh, here comes happy, because I want the title of the layout to be Happy Moments. So again, just using my T-square ruler. Quite often I'll do wonky titles on purpose just so that I don't have to try and make them straight. But that one needed to be. Alright, so I've done that one nice and straight. Just checking through all the stickers now to see if there's anything else. And there's a few little arrows and bits and pieces that I decided to pop on at different places. I like adding extra little bits of detail here and there. Even when it is very kind of clean and simple. It's taken up quite a lot of the page, but it's not, or I certainly don't feel it's overly fussy. I do like to do quite a bit of embellishing, but today I've decided it's not going to be. I'm not going to do loads and loads. Just fussy cutting another one of these little tags. This one says, I think it says make the most of every day. So I'm just kind of fussy cutting around that. And that one's going to tuck in. Is it going to tuck in? Or do I take it off in the end? I think I might end up taking it back off. I think I like the idea of having it there. So I just tuck it into that little pocket. And then I'm just going to do my journaling, writing about the release of the butterflies and how much my son enjoyed watching them grow and releasing them. So much so that he's already saved up his pocket money and ordered some for this year. So they'll be arriving in April. He's got a lot of patience, I think, for an 8-year-old. So there's my little bit of journaling. And that is about it for my layout. Thank you ever so much for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed it. Stay tuned till the end of the video for some close-ups. And and I will see you again soon. Thanks ever so much for watching. Bye for now.